going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly podcast. We are batting practice. I got Andrew with me tonight. I guess I am just the one
You are you
consistent
are batting
variable.
practice.
I am. I will be here, no doubt. But as you can see, if you are watching the podcast, Jacob is MIA. It's been a weird start to the year. Andrew just got back from visiting Jacob
Day two.
down in Charlotte where he lives. So Jacob's
Way
just
to
catching
dox
up
him.
on, yeah, right. His address is no. Jacob, surprise. We shared your address on the podcast. But yeah, he's busy tonight, just catching up on stuff, it sounds like. So you get another duo cast, but I think it'll go back to normal next week. And we already have a plan for next week. So be on the lookout for that. It should be a good episode, but should be a good episode tonight as well. Andrew, you're back. How was your
I'm
trip?
back.
I know we talked about it a little bit off camera, but for the listeners out there, how was your trip?
I would say if someone gives you the opportunity to go to Charlotte, whether that's for a Panthers game, I don't know why you would do that. But I
Right,
think,
son, baby.
I'm up on Charlotte FC this year, and if you have an opportunity to go see a game there, I did not. We went in the winter, unfortunately, MLS off season. But I can see how that would be a very, very fun time. And there's lots of cool neighborhoods within the city. And if you do have a car, you can get out in the burbs. There's a beautiful lake, especially if you go in the summer. It looks like perfect for boating. Unfortunately, it was nice, like 60s, but obviously that's not boating weather, nor is it really swimming weather. But amazing, amazing city, great food, good people. I think it's a fun place to live. I would I think if I was in the market for like a southern town, I would be on my list. I've never been to Nashville, but I think it's definitely it's a top city. I like it.
For sure. Yeah, I've always said that like if we didn't have majority of our family here, we'd probably consider moving down there more than we have in the past. Just because it is a really nice city and the climate is, in my opinion, a lot better than the climate here in Wisconsin.
For
Um,
now.
for now, yes, exactly. For now, with with the trends, you never know. Um, but yeah, the one thing that surprised me about Charlotte, and has surprised me is how good the food is there.
Mm.
It's a very good food city. So if you're a foodie, or if you're just looking for a cool place to go, Charlotte is a great city.
The one thing I would challenge Charlotte though is I feel like when I go to most places, it's like obvious kind of what I like the food I have to get while I'm there. Like if you're in Chicago, you have to get deep dish pizza. You have to try a Chicago dog. I'm probably forgetting some other things. Giardiniera, Italian sub, maybe. New York, get that slice of pizza. Go eat at Bodega. East Coast, get that seafood. Florida, I don't know, eat
Seafood
sand.
probably
Uh,
eats
Texas barbecue.
alligators. Yeah.
Uh, but Charlotte, I was like, what do I know I'm going to the South, but it's like, do they have good fried chicken? Like if I'm going to Kentucky or Tennessee, really fantastic fried chicken. So I still don't know like what their food identity is. It kind of was everything was good, which is awesome. But I kind of wish I could be like, damn, like Charlotte does this better than anywhere else. And as good as the food was, I don't know if maybe I slept on something while I was there. I was only there for a week, but I feel like there wasn't something that was like, wow, like I can only get this here, and I'm definitely going to come back for that.
Yeah, the one thing that I've found when I've been down there that is different is the Carolina barbecue.
Mm,
Since they use a more vinegar-based barbecue, so it's a little bit
okay.
more like liquidy and not super heavy. And that is really good. It is kind of like it's definitely a southern city, so they have the typical like southern food, but it definitely teeters on like a lot of different cultures and food variety, which can be cool, but also not like a standout thing, like you said.
Yeah. No, and I did get to try the barbecue sauce. I didn't realize that was a Carolina specific,
Hmm.
because the restaurant gave us two barbecue sauces. One was thicker, one was more watery or vinegary, like you described. Those were both very very good. I'm not a barbecue expert, so I wasn't sure if that was just a normal thing, if they just give both to you, like anywhere you go. But it was absolute fire. Had some burnt ends and
Oh,
some roasted chicken. It was
oh yeah.
so good.
Okay. Are
Now I'm
you a
I'm getting
hush
hungry.
puppy fan?
I love hush. I mean,
Okay.
there's very few foods that I feel like most people eat that I do not eat myself, especially ones that are fried. Uh, they're
Yeah.
delicious. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. You can't, fried potato is fried potato. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah. What about collard greens? Are you a fan?
They're okay.
Oh, they're so good. They're
What about
so good.
okra? Do you like okra?
I don't know if I've had it enough.
Fair.
I know they pickle it, or I think there's also deep fried.
Yep.
Both would probably be very good. I don't know if you throw it on a burger, but I think I would eat it. Again, there's very few things I'm not willing to. I will give everything a try at this
Yeah,
point.
fair. Last food comment. The one thing that this doesn't really count because it's fast food and that we don't have it
Mm,
here. And it's definitely not just a Charlotte or North Carolina thing, it's all over the South. But Bojangles,
mm,
those that know me know that I love Bojangles, and whenever we're down there, it's a must because we don't have it here.
yeah.
Again, fast food doesn't really count,
No,
but
it does. It should count.
it should count, right? Exactly. Just like how we have, I guess Culver's is all over now, so it doesn't really count the same. But I think Cousins, maybe Cousin Subs is more local to around the area. But yeah, Bojangles is pretty fire too.
Yeah. I wish there was a closer one. I did not get it. We did not get it, but when we were in New Orleans, I got some Bojangles
Mm.
and
Oh
that
yeah,
was absolutely fire.
yeah,
Yeah, so good. Fried chicken anytime, any day. You know where to find me.
yeah, exactly right. But anyway, that's enough of that. We got a good one. We're discussing something that is actually very applicable. I guess this is my time to humbly brag.
Please
But
do. I was gonna say I was gonna do it for you, but go
yeah,
for it.
so I was in multiple different fantasy football leagues this year, and the one that I was in with Andrew and Jacob, and then a lot of his groomsmen from his wedding were also in the league.
Yep,
Your boy took down first place and
he
is the
did.
champion of the fantasy football league. And with that comes a trophy, I believe.
Yep, it's on its way.
Okay, a trophy on its way and cold hard cash, baby. That's
Yeah,
what it's all about. Specifically, $160 is the first place payout. And we are discussing what if I want to reinvest that
parlay,
$160 parlay?
parlay.
$160 on black. I will be going to the casino tomorrow. No, just kidding.
You know,
What if I want to go ahead? What
I
are you
was
gonna
gonna say we
say?
should consider all the options.
We
So
should
that
get,
could be
you're
that
right,
could
you're
be.
right,
We
you're
should
right,
consider all the options.
you're
There's
right.
lots of,
That is true. There is a lot of different ways to spend $160. And a lot of ways are probably not responsible, but that's okay. We're not here for responsibility. We're here for fun.
There we
And
go.
those don't always intermix. So,
Mm.
uh, we're looking at what if I reinvest that money into a different fantasy sports game called So Rare. Have you heard of it?
Probably because you're listening to this podcast.
So we're going to take a peek at, and this is not limited to the NBA. We're going to look at
No,
all three
no.
sports, I believe.
Yeah,
And
we should.
how far can $160 get you on So Rare in the three different sports?
Or, should you just put it all on black? Like, is that actually the best option? Again, you have a chance of doubling your money. And we'll see. Can you double $160 realistically in so rare? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is better just to go put it all in black. I don't know. But
The
we'll
way
figure it
So Rare
out.
NBA is going this year, it probably is better to put it all on black because doubling your money in So Rare NBA has felt very challenging so far. I don't know about you, but
Yeah. I'll be ready in a few weeks to give my update on in season. But
Hmm.
early looks, and hopefully this is like when we bashed the Astros on a duo cast and they just went off. So hopefully I'm gonna do the same thing for my Sorare team. But yes, I like tried with in season this year. Originally I was like, I'm gonna wait, but after a month I did buy enough players to field a team, and by now I'd hoped I'd win something back, like a dollar, even a dollar, $2, something to tell me I'm going in the right direction. But so far it is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Josh, I wouldn't even want a box from in season.
It's
So
insane.
I'm scratching my head. Maybe I'm just buying the wrong players, or maybe you need to have more than five, or maybe you need to have 10 minimum. I don't know. But yes, that 160 in SOAR MBA, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, um and this doesn't necessarily have to be a reward-based discussion, but um now that I've gotten slightly more consistent about getting my lineups in, uh
True.
I have been like relatively consistently getting at least one box per game week.
Okay.
Now that differs obviously depending on what's going on.
Yep.
Um, but I feel like I it's impossible. I don't want to say impossible. It's really hard to cross the bridge between a box and a card. And
Yes.
I'm talking classic because I don't have enough cards to do in season. Um, and I don't want to talk too much about it because we'll have that discussion in a couple weeks once you give your update. But um, I haven't won a card this year. I'll say it. I haven't won a card. I've won a decent amount of boxes, but it's seemingly really hard to bridge that gap between a
Mm.
box and a card reward.
Yep. Have you won? How has your essence been? You said you've been winning boxes. Have you 50 essence is a
Yes.
lot. That's a
I
lot of
am
essence.
at 52 essence right now.
52. Okay, so have you used that previously on a card? Is
Nope.
this all the essence you've ever won this year?
That's it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I it's so yeah, I in answering the question of, where should you put that money? Obviously with NBA, you do have the option for in season. It depends obviously too, to use your word, on how much market credit you have as well.
Right.
Because if you have, depending on 25%, but let's say you have $50 you've accrued in boxes, and maybe you're sitting that 160 can quickly become 200 to 220, depending on really how much market credit you have. But yes, buying in-season cards is, I don't know, it's or classic, it's such a conundrum. And I do think if you're not winning consistently or the way you want to, I think branching out before you shore up your base is probably the wrong move in any sober sport you play, whether you're thinking about getting a champion team and you only play contender or MLS, or you only play classic in NBA and you want to get an in-season team. I think you have to ask yourself, am I winning enough with what I have already? And I think if you're not, then I think you make that stronger before you go off and try to put 160 and stretch that even further away from what you're doing already.
Right. Yeah. I think the one thing that I feel like my gallery right now, especially in or just in NBA, I feel like I have the like 30, I've talked about this before, but I have that 30 to 40 point range like locked up. Um,
Yep.
but that range is probably the least useful of all of the ranges of L10 averages.
Right.
Um, I'm still lacking that true MVP. I know between Dame and LeBron, they're teetering on that line, but not having those top five cards. So I guess the one thing that I probably could use that money for in NBA would be a true MVP.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know how competitive the rest of my champ lineup would look like. I think it would be decent, but I don't know if it would necessarily compete on a week to week basis, even with an MVP card in my gallery.
Yeah, like I'm looking at your options here. Giannis, his classic season floor is $51 as we're speaking. His in-season floor, again, this is not from Sorare, this is market credit, is $72. So, you would be using up almost a third or closer to half of your total money buying in season. But, the rest of your money, you could easily spread that across 20 players if you bought them at an average of $4 a card. And then at that point you're just playing the math game of, who has the best, average L10 to that game week, and you're rotating them in and out, and hopefully your 20 add up to, 120 since you're playing Giannis as your MVP and you're just trying to fill out the rest. Um, I do think, when it comes down to it, Sorare NBA is a card numbers game, flat out.
For
You
sure.
In order to win, I think you have to have that quality like that. Without a Giannis, a Jokic, you saw this particular game week that we're recording this on January 2nd. If you did not have a Jokic, you probably did not win anything in Champ this week, unless of course your other five just all went off and is a really great score. Jokic put up a 99. So if you don't have someone that can put that up, and again, with the amount of cards there are out there, that's it's probably 600 to 1,000 lineups. Because again, if you have Jokic, you're playing him, and if you
Right.
don't, you're not probably going to win. And that's a that's the hard thing about champ, especially as it's going to get harder over time if you don't have that elite card, and within that the elite card that actually goes off that week. um but I wouldn't say that to dissuade you, since Jokic puts up a 99 maybe once every couple of weeks, maybe once a month. um
Right.
but you just have to accept that some weeks you're not going to win anything, and that's okay too.
Right. And if you're looking at it purely from a return on investment perspective, um, if I just bought, let's say Giannis, and with market credit, I just looked, it'd be $68 for me, a new season,
Mm.
um, which is a pretty good deal. You're looking at winning that $5 reward at least 15 times,
Yeah.
14 times to
Yeah.
get your money back. And from the sounds of it, that's uh, really hard.
Yeah.
um, and that's I would have to buy four other in-season cards, uh, assuming that I could fit under that 120 cap and not have to spread it out. Like you said, it's a numbers game. So this isn't the type of competition. So our NBA as a whole, you're not buying five cards, and those are the same five cards you set in each lineup every week.
Yep.
Unlike baseball or even sometimes soccer, where you have your set lineups and that's just what you use per week. You really have to have your starting lineup and then probably a full lineup of backups or reserves uh, to be able to field the lineup every week. So that initial investment would not only be the MVP, but on top of that, many other cards. And then you're looking at spending what, 150, like we talked about, but it goes up
Yeah.
from there, a couple hundred
Yep.
bucks. And then you're talking about winning that $5 reward 70 times,
Yeah.
or sorry, no, like 50 times to
Yep.
get to
Yep.
250 bucks, let's say. And
Yep.
that's a lot. 50 times over the course of a year. I don't think that's happening. I don't, and again, it's you could go on and get whatever place and win 50 bucks or 100 bucks, and then you're
Yep.
getting a big chunk of it back. But I don't know if you're going to see a return on your investment, if that's what you're planning on doing.
Yeah, and again, you can also factor in the super optimistic case of, what if it takes 1 week and you hit, $100, or, you get top 10, which I'm looking at it now, sixth through 10th place, get $100, fourth and fifth get 150. You theoretically could pay off your team if you're only, using that 160 that you did win. The one thing I will say that I do think people overlook, and I did this initially with in season, you can use one classic card. So if you're
Mm,
thinking about building an in season team, and honestly, I don't think it's too late. Like, you could make the argument that now it actually makes more sense to do in season, since if the card prices are half, but the season is still 60% of the way yet to be played, that's there are more games than the prices have declined, so maybe it makes sense. I think what a lot of people should do is take their get their MVP, but make it a classic card, and then play around them for in-season cards that have a really good matchup. Their L10 is a discrepancy where they're expected to get way more minutes or something like that, and you kind of have, like, again, like I was saying, four, maybe 20 in-season cards that you're pulling from, and hopefully in a given week you can find the right combination that adds up. And looking at how much Giannis Classic is right now at $50, you'd have 110 left to you could buy some serious in-season cards with that. So I do think it could be viable, but I do have to say though, the score requirement for winning anything in Sorare NBA, especially in season, is really hard. I'm looking right now. The Just to win $5, you had to score 260 points, which means that, let's say Giannis gets 60, a solid week for him. Your 120 average other players, let's say those, you're going to need them to outperform by 70 points, which is a pretty big lift. That's a big 70 points. Like, that would be in contender scoring 190, which is very, very difficult to do. So you are
right,
asking a lot of your guys to even just get close to $5. Um, Granted, I do think scores this week were a little bit skewed, just simply because Jokic just got 100, and if you didn't have Jokic, you probably didn't win anything.
right,
Um, so I don't know, but I still, even though the math is like you could buy Giannis and then have 110 to spend across in season, I still don't know if that's worth it.
right. I still might buy a Giannis, not in season card because I could still obviously use him in classic. Um, because I am still lacking that MVP in classic or in
Yep,
classic champion. Um, and that way, if I ever do win a card, I could upgrade or at least start playing in season without having
yep,
to spend that initial investment. Now, uh, just looking at what takes in champ to win a card, um,
yeah.
it's a lot. Uh, it's a lot. One star box is the last person getting a 1 star box, and it's Thursday night, so there's still games going on tonight.
Yep,
Put up 215 for a 1 star box,
yeah,
uh, which is kind of wild. Um, the last person winning a card, a tier 4 in 375th place, put up 270, like you
yep.
said. So that's pretty wild to think. So I don't think you can really bank on winning cards either in classic,
No, I
especially
will
not like
say
good ones.
if you're not fielding all, it is sometimes a lineup game. I will say, if you're not getting that quality first, if you're throwing a LeBron as your MVP instead of Giannis, it probably makes more sense to upgrade LeBron than to say keep LeBron and then buy a whole nother lineup. Um, but again, it's difficult this week since I think the scores were elevated. But here, I'll look back, since again, can't keep uh, using the same excuse over and over again. But if we look at, let's say, the week of Christmas, there were more games that week. Let's see what it would take to win $5 in season. Uh, so looking at that, if you were to get, yeah, 250. So even though Jokic was the crazy standout, it still is around 250 points just to crack $5, which, again, we did the math. That means your uh, players are outperforming their average by 70 and your MVP has at least 60 or more, which is a lot to ask. So that's a lot of things to go right for a game week just to get $5. So I don't know. Maybe that is a little bit too competitive.
Yeah. Um, I feel like a lot of like once you dive deeper into the numbers, it all it does is validate how it feels on the surface. Like
Mm,
it feels hard to win in Sorare NBA. Um, and when you look into it deeper, it's not that it feels the way, it's that it truly is harder to win in Sorare NBA. That's just the nature of the game right now. Um, with smaller reward pools, with being able to submit more lineups in season, it's just that much harder to win this year.
yeah.
Is it too hard to win? At what point do people stop playing because they aren't winning?
Right. And again, like going back to before sober, I played a lot of and this was before sports gambling was legal too. I played a lot of daily fantasy sports. And a lot of times the way that FanDuel and DraftKings would get around the whole, whales getting everything or the multi-entry thing, they would have competitions where you could only enter it once. And that's how Solar used to be. So I'm not saying that they need to come up with more game modes, but I do think, again, we talked about this at the beginning of the season of, you know, does multi-entry mean it's going to be more difficult to win? Everyone was so excited because oh, I get to enter three lineups. This is going to be great. I'm going to win so much more. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, no, no, like unless you're a whale, you're probably going to win less.
Right,
And I do think halfway through the season, that probably is true. And I don't know, do we have to go back to single entry lineups? It would certainly be really bad for me because I would all the my theory about having as many cards as possible would, yeah, that would be a big blow to that. But I will say for the average player, going up against whales that are entering three Jokic's per lineup, or maybe they're even hedging their bets by putting one Jokic, one Giannis, and just knowing that with if one of them goes off, they're going to win. I don't know. It's really hard.
right. Yeah, it is very hard. Um, yeah, I think I think we've talked enough so rare NBA. Um, I mean, we could discuss, I know that's kind of been our main topic on the podcast for a little bit now, but I feel like MLB would be put the $160 in and wait.
Yeah.
I haven't really peeked at the market. I don't know if there's a lot going on right now, but um, yes, yeah, Aaron Judge for $83. It's not bad, but it does feel funny buying in-season cards in the off season because there's going to be new season cards coming out once the season starts. So it feels if you wanted to build like a cheaper lineup with cards that probably won't hold the same value come the season, you could potentially do it that way. Um, yeah, a lot of these
Yeah.
cards are trading a little bit cheaper than they would during the season. Again, they were new, so it makes sense, but um that is definitely a possibility too.
It's so hard because there's just no supply out there right now.
Right.
Like I'm on Zach Wheeler. He has three limited cards listed. Two of them are both from Sower Instant Buy. He has five, one rare card available. So that's the only thing is the supply is so thin. But I do, what we do see in off seasons is the prices are lower than at the beginning of the season. Maybe you could win or you could get more ether or dollars if you traded these players now and then waited till the beginning of the season when they're priced higher. However, though, then all of the new season cards come out, so it's a little bit. I don't think classic cards are going to get that same pop that they used to when the new season would roll around. Since those people that would be eager to buy cards are just going to buy from so rare instead, which again, that's what they should do if they're incentivizing it. So I would hold off if you're thinking about investing in MLB cards at the during the off season since the supply is so thin. But maybe you could go and if you're really diligent, find that needle in a haystack of someone listed something, or maybe even go on Discord and say, "Hey, anyone looking to offload some baseball players?" That's probably what I would do if you're really serious about getting baseball cards, but just going and on a random players page that's popular that you like, and then just that's probably not going to work out well for you.
Right. Um,
It-
Go ahead.
I would say if your goal is to make money,
Right.
but if you're just like, hey, I want to get a Jackson Churio, I didn't get one last year, um, but you do have to realize that the utility for him is going to be half, since you won't be able to use him in season really at all.
Right. Exactly. Um, the last area that I'm might be most excited about,
Mm,
and actually most likely to use this money for real, uh, is in Sorare football.
mm,
Because I've surprised myself with this, but I've been most successful in Sorare football,
heck yeah.
compared to, I guess, just compared to Sorare NBA, which probably isn't saying a whole lot, but um, I've won a few cards, which is kind of wild to think about.
Nice.
Um, I've won boxes. It's been decent. I'm on pace for winning like one card a month,
Wow.
which is kind of decent in my opinion. It's better
Yeah.
than doing in Silver NBA.
Yeah.
Um, and the one area that I am lacking in the most is a goalie.
Mm, okay.
So the potential to buy a new goaltender now, I did buy one. I bought Jasper Schendelar, who's the
Mm,
goalkeeper for Zwolle in
yep.
the Dutch league.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that one going for me, but with Christmas breaks, holiday breaks, international breaks, um, I haven't had a goalie the last few weeks, and it's hurt me a lot. I think I got
Mm,
top 15% last game week with no goaltender.
wow.
I think I put up like 250 without a goalie, which is kind of crazy. So I was thinking like, man, if I only had a goalie playing, I could have been in the money here. I was put up 282 with no goalie. I was 14 points away from a reward.
Yep.
So if I had a goalie, I would have won something. Um, so I think this might be the route that I go. I don't know. What do you think?
I no, I think football probably makes a lot of sense, and you can with even $160 stretch that pretty far, sticking to a limited budget. The rare probably not gonna, maybe you could field a very poor team, but there's no threshold anymore, so you're probably
Right,
not going to be better than you know 80% of lineups and get a card or money anyway. So yeah, I think you could realistically build a very solid team at the limited level. In fact, I think you could build multiple teams. The thing with uh football, and I think people overlook this too, it's so segmented now where there's a Bundesliga competition, there's a Prem competition, there's contender competitions which feature these five leagues, and champion ones that feature five others. If you have cards in that are spread across all of those, you're going to be in for a nightmare and just end up frustrating yourself because you can't field a team even though you have 15 different players. So I would
right,
say, and this is honestly sometimes your own personal preference, pick a league that you like. I will say, from what I've observed in my own decision making practice, I've stayed away from the Bundesliga since Bayern. It's like basically Bayern is kind of like Jokic. If Bayern goes off, you're not going to win
right.
anything in Bundesliga, and that also
Yep.
applies with Champion too, since you can use Bundesliga players there too. I kind of do stay away from that. Uh, I've actually been a big fan of in season and classic Prem, since the scores, since the league is a lot has a lot more parity. You're going to have your Arsenal stacks that go off every once in a while, but there's not that domination that you see in other leagues that can lead to these crazy scores that if you don't have five players from that team, you're not going to win anything. Um, so I would say, look at your own gallery and where you have cards already. But I would also put some weight into what leagues you can watch where you live. If you
Right.
have a streaming platform that carries the leagues, I think there's nothing better than watching your Sorare team, and it's not as fun if you buy a bunch of Danish players and you can't watch them.
True. I found that I've really enjoyed the special events.
Mm,
I know those aren't always around, which is slightly a risk, but I am somebody who has my gallery is somewhat random. Part of the reason is a lot of the cards I have are older season cards and players transfer all the time.
yep.
So a lot of people who were in the same league and are now transferred out of that league. Um, so I have been taking advantage of some of these special competitions. For example, coming up this weekend, they have Cap 260,
Mm.
sounds kind of fun. And then obviously All Star has been back for a while now too. So I know those are going to be a little bit harder to win cards just because it's spread out. But like you said, more parity is actually a good thing. Um, in something like All Star, odds are you're going to have teams that go off, but at the same time, it's more spread out because it's everything as opposed to just one league or five leagues. Um, so I've been having fun with some of those, and it's
And
been working out for me.
and
So
you're also going up against people's probably scraps. I would bet that most people set All Star after they've set their Prem, after they set their Bundesliga. It's literally the last goalkeeper in their roster, and they're saying, "Hey, you can't get relegated in these special events too," which is very nice. I do think a
right,
lot of people set that lineup last, and maybe it is easier to compete with an average gallery if all of you're competing with the worst players of the big galleries if they're too busy, trying to get cards from somewhere else. I do think, yeah, if you want to go the route of fielding a team like for special weeklies, I think that's entirely doable. And there haven't been too many. I'm gonna probably manifest it, like strange ones where it's like, you have to have a guy named Klaus on your team, or find
right,
a guy that
exactly.
that is from this random town in Sweden. I don't know, but you can. What I'm trying to say is you can get by with your standard keeper from any sort of league that's supported, striker that you like. So yeah, I fully support that, and I think if you want to put some money into fielding that team, I think that's entirely possible. Um, what I've actually been doing, and I'm probably going to give it away, but I'm fine with that. Uh, I think U23 Classic
Mm,
is severely overlooked because just like special weeklies, the guy has to just be under 23. They don't care what league they play in. So if the guy gets transferred from the Eredivisie to the Prem or the Scottish League, that's fine as long as his birthday is as he's of a certain age. I've
right,
found it's actually pretty easy to field teams, and honestly, not with $160. I You could probably stretch that at least to a dozen to 2 dozen players, depending on what quality you want.
right.
I think a lot of people are overlooking U23, and because they're younger, they don't score as well. You don't have to go up against Joshua Kimmich's, Olise's. It's going to be a lot easier to win, and that's honestly where I've had my most success across all of my football lineups have been my U23s. Since again, I think people are overlooking it. Um, so I will throw that out there as a suggestion. Um, you do have to deal with the classic when they turn 24, but hey, that becomes
Right.
your all-star team.
That is true. Yeah. It's not like they become unusable once they turn 24.
So I don't know, but yeah, I think it's the beauty of Sorare is there are a million different ways to play it, and you don't have to play all the sports. You could just say, I want to stick to football, or I want to stick to basketball. But I do think that $150 is enough to be competitive. I think at a limited level in certainly with where price points are from football and NBA. We'll see with baseball. Maybe you could build a decent team with that as well.
For sure. Yeah. There's lots of different options. That's for sure.
You also have to keep us updated. Well, I'm excited to see your Road to can you would you have been better off just putting it all in black, or should you I don't know. It'd be you'd be over in a flash if you didn't win though.
That is true. At least with so rare, you can keep playing.
That is the beauty. That is the beauty of it.
There's no refunds when it comes to the roulette table.
No, no, there is not. There's no. Could you imagine Pavel Trader roulette? That would be
Oh
super
man,
funny.
that would be funny.
He'll buy your spin back for like 35 cents on the dollar. I don't know how it would work, but
Oh man, that's funny. Well, do we test our NBA knowledge, the two of us, and
oh
do the
man.
portal, or do
I mean,
we try something else?
I think we could run a portal. We could run
Okay,
a portal.
pull it up here. Jacob and I did it last week, just the two of us, and we did not do super hot. So the bar's not very high.
Okay. Okay. Let's
See
go
here.
with Jarrett Allen of the
Oh,
Cleveland Cavaliers. He went off this week in Sorare. Okay, he's a
okay, we got East.
short king. He's in the
Short,
East.
young, low
Yeah, young.
number. Um,
Hmm.
okay, let's do not in the central.
What about Dyson Daniels?
I like that. Oh wow.
Ooh.
Okay, on
Okay, he's on
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, I have a decent
On a
amount of Atlanta
guard.
players.
Oh, okay, so they're 6'8" and they're 22. Okay, gotta think about Atlanta here.
Or
Uh
23. How old's Trey Young? Is he 23? He's 24?
Trey Young is younger than you think, but
Yeah.
he I don't think Trey Young is 6'8".
Oh, that okay. So yeah, he's got to be 6'8". That's a good hint. Uh
Um,
Bogdan?
does Kobe Buffkin play for the
I'm not sure. I don't
Hawks? I think
try
he
it.
does. Oh,
Oh.
I forgot he was a
What
guard.
what about who was I just saying? Not Dyson. Oh, Bogdanovich.
Oh,
I can't remember. Yeah, I think that's.
oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
also a
32.
guard.
Man, that guy looks good.
Yeah, he is
I
old.
didn't know
That's
he was
right.
32. Did not know he's
Trying
32.
to think of okay, Hawks rookie from like last year, within the last year or
How
two.
how old is DeJounte Murray?
Oh yeah, that could be. I could see him still being that young.
Mm, okay.
Okay, he's not.
Man, we're
I forgot he
okay.
was on the
Wait.
the
This
Pelicans
guy's got to be a forward. Duh. Okay, wait. That doesn't. Who's a forward
on the Hawks.
on the Hawks? Oh no, wait. Oh, DeJounte Murray's on the Oh, he was on the Hawks. That's why
Yeah,
I. That's where I love the Sorare card. I wish there was a way on my Sorare card that I could know what team they're on right now. That would be
right.
really
Is there an
sick.
update? Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Because I
Um,
have Murray's Hawks card from last season.
I think I
But
have both.
okay. Let's see a silhouette. Let's get a silhouette going.
Yeah, let's see the silhouette.
Wait. Oh, that looks so much like Dyson. I thought, but it's
It
not
does look
obviously.
like Dyson. Dyson would have been like he's probably the closest thing to it. He's
Okay.
also number one, two, or zero, one, two, or three.
Okay. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna look at my Hawks in my Sorare gallery.
Okay.
Oh, no, that does not look like him. Current team. Oh, is Okungwu? Is he? No, that doesn't look like him. Jalen Johnson. That's who it is. That's who it is. Yep. Bang.
Hey,
Bang. I should have known that. Wow.
Jalen Johnson, number one.
Although
There
I'm
we
gonna call
go.
BS because we Jared Allen is 6'9", and
Yeah, right.
they told us he's not 6'9", so I'm gonna call bull on that.
Yeah, what? That should be a check mark. We
Yeah,
got scanned. We would have got it
yeah,
right if we knew he was 6'9".
yeah, exactly. So very bad on very bad game. Hey, but my my Hawks are according to SoRare, I have of all the teams. Let's see. It's not the Bucks, Josh. Can you guess which team I have the most active players from?
That isn't the Bucks.
That's not the Bucks. Yep. I know it's actually
Um,
it's I have more from this team than the Bucks.
you have the most players from the Thunder.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, you're a big Cavs guy.
I'm not. It's crazy how much guys move. I have so many of my guys. I have. Let's see. I'll count the number of guys in Cleveland jerseys. Only five have Cleveland jerseys on.
That's
It's
confusing.
crazy.
All right, since we talked about football, we're gonna
All
do Who
right.
Are You
Yes, we
too.
do. We do.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, let's hide the photo
Yeah.
for now.
Okay.
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 Oh wow. Okay. That
So,
means it's Lamine Yamal.
hmm,
Okay, it is La Liga.
it's La Liga. He's probably 10,
Okay, not Barca.
and he's
So
not
how
Spanish.
about
A non-Spanish.
Rodrigo?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
but he's not a
oh yeah,
forward. He's
no,
not a forward, Josh. He's not a forward.
oh yeah, okay. I didn't know if it was. I couldn't remember if it was broken down. So it's either
How
defense,
about
midfield, or goalie.
Oh, I was gonna say Jude, but that's not right either. And his age,
Right,
okay, so it
not
could be any
English.
age. What about Rudiger?
Antoine.
Okay.
Okay, so it is a defender. Not for
Steve.
her. Oh no, this could be trouble.
No, again, we can use my Sorare gallery. Okay, let's see if we can get the nationality down. He's not German. He's not Spanish. Is he Brazilian or Argentinian? Let's see. He's not on.
Geez. Trying to think of like who's on Sevilla or that's Brazilian. I feel like there's a lot of Brazilian players.
Let's try. We could try a keeper.
No, it's a defender. It doesn't, right?
Oh,
That would
it's a
say
defender.
keeper.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a defender.
Yeah.
Oh, how about someone on Atletico Madrid? Molina? Let's try Molina.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Oh
Okay,
wow, it
okay, there
is
we go.
Atletico Madrid.
Is Pau
Oh,
Lopez on Atletico now? I don't think so. No, he's also Spanish. He's also Spanish, so
that's
that's
true.
scratch that.
Oh
Okay, there's
God, I'm trying to think of other.
Atletico's defense. They got Oblak in back, Molina. And he's like Antonio, De Maria, Angel. No, not Angel De Maria. Um, Angel. Try type in Angel. Not
Angel
Correa.
Correa?
Not Correa. Oh my gosh, he's like he's Uruguayan. He's Uruguayan. Um, oh, type in Maria. Oh
No,
no. What is his name? Oh, it's just not going to give us if it's anywhere in the word. That's
it's
hard.
just not gonna. It's not gonna give it to us.
Oh, what is his name? Oh, all right.
I'm
Well,
so out of the game. I'm no help.
uh, oh yeah. Wait, yeah. Jose Maria Jimenez. Jose.
Oh, Jimenez.
Oh my God. How
Oh, he's
many
29.
non-Spanish defenders on what the heck? Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm cheating.
I I'm gonna consult So Rare Josh. Let's find this man.
Could it possibly be? Oh,
Oh,
he's listed as a midfielder.
yeah. Let's see.
Wait, oh no, he's
Atletico
Spanish. Oh, we already guessed
cards.
Molina.
Current club. Atletico. He's a defender.
What do you think the clue would tell us?
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, let's get a clue. Oh, it's gonna be an ad. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, we're in too deep.
Wait, it's
Oh, he's
all
French.
Jose.
He's French.
Oh, they wouldn't have
French?
Griezmann list. They wouldn't have Griezmann listed as a French.
No.
Oh man,
I
can't
bet
even
you it's this
find.
guy who I've never heard of.
Oh, the
Oh
Mar
no, he's okay.
what?
I thought he was French.
I thought he was too. Wow, I think he
Oh
actually did
wait,
switch his.
did he switch nationalities? Langlet to French?
Mm, yep.
Oh, didn't he
I
used to
would.
play for Spain? Am I making that up? I think I'm making that up. I think I'm thinking of oh, there's somebody else who switched their nationality. I swear he used to play for Spain. I
Let's
don't
see.
know.
Where did he? Oh, he used to be on Villa, and he was on Barca.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. We know ball, but not
Not
athletic.
not
That deep. That is. I'm proud that we were able to just get Molina
yeah.
and Jose out of it. But yeah, Mr. Clemel, apologize. Oh, Josh, no, we can't. Oh
No, we have to.
no.
We've had two relatively poor performances. Surely we
No, no,
can't.
no. Basketball is decent.
It
Basketball's
was
decent.
okay. It was okay. You're right.
All right. Newly traded
Let's
Corbin Burns.
I like that. That's the problem is all these trades and they're updated.
They
Righty, righty.
are.
So it's the AL East or AL Central. Righty, righty,
All right.
30, not from the USA, not a starting pitcher. That means it is so clearly and obviously going to be Carlos Correa.
I like it.
Oh, he's also 30, but okay, it's the Central. Oh,
He's
wow.
Puerto
Okay, Puerto
Rican.
Rican. Also a shortstop. Okay, we can do this.
All right.
Okay,
It's got to
so
be
we
this from
got
the Sox. Is it
Royals,
Moncada?
Sox,
No, wouldn't be Moncada.
um,
Wait, who's the
Royals,
guy that got in the
Sox.
scuffle with who threw
Tim
the punch?
Anderson. I think he's
Yeah.
technically from the USA.
Hmm.
Also, just not in the game anymore.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
jeez. Took him out.
Oh, is it who is listed as the shortstop? Wait, he just got traded for the Guardians. I'm assuming Ramirez is listed as third baseman. Yeah, and he's Dominican. Oh,
Yeah.
who was their shortstop? Oh, exposed, exposed. The White Sox is kind of a crapshoot. I can't do the White Sox.
Let's see.
Royals
Yeah,
was
we
Is Bobby Witt, so it's probably not the Royals. Unless it's
nope.
like a
Okay.
backup. It's gotta
It's
be
got to be someone on the
Guardians.
Guardians.
Who's the Guardian shortstop? They're so good this year.
David
Jimenez
Fry.
and
Oh man.
who, unless there's somebody that was recently traded.
Shortstop. Let's see. We got consulting so rare. Oh well, there's no. Oh, what? The only shortstop listed on the Guardians is Brian Rocio. Let's see if we can get
Oh,
the team out of the
Rokia,
way. Yeah, Rocio.
Venezuelan. Okay, so I think he was the starting. So I don't think it's the Guardians then.
So it's yeah,
Oh
it's
no,
obviously not the
it's gonna
Twins.
be the White
It's
Sox.
someone on the White Sox. Oh no,
Dude, the
it's
White
probably
Sox
someone
don't
that
exist.
Jacob saw in Charlotte.
The White Sox don't exist. They're not a real team.
Austin Slater, Miguel Vargas. No, he wouldn't be listed as. Yeah, the
Dude,
White
I'm
Sox
looking.
are
Okay,
not
I'm cheating
a
a
real
little bit,
team.
and I'm looking at the White Sox players right now, and I don't know. I don't know like any of these people.
Oh no.
Okay, I don't. Maybe it's not the White Sox.
Wait, so it's oh the Tigers. Are we forgetting about the Tigers?
Oh yeah, duh. Okay, Tigers, Tigers shortstop. Tigers shortstop. Oh, no way. I know who it is. It's everybody's favorite player, Javier Baez.
Oh my God. Wait. Oh my
How could
God.
we forget the Tigers, man? How could we do that?
Tigers,
Javi Baez.
Tigers World Series? Maybe just put that 160 on a nice little Tigers future.
If they get rid of this guy, they have a chance.
They do.
Wow.
They
Well,
got
there you
Schoolball,
have it.
baby.
There you have it. We know ball. We're ball
Let us know
knowers.
which one you thought we did the worst. Then
Ooh,
we'll study.
yeah, you have lots to choose from. Oh man. Well, there you have it. Back to regularly scheduled programming next week, I believe.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one. It's going to be a good one. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for this one as well, obviously. Don't forget to leave a rating wherever you're listening to the podcast. Go check out the YouTube and the other socials. Interact there. We appreciate it. And until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace. Recording stopped.